Goggins still leads Bithell. Bithell again, so close. It's probably the closest he's been to him in this little gap now that they've got. Round turn number 3. Who do you reckon is going to take it?
I'm conscious that we're missing the leaders. They've come through, and Joe Dickinson has won this one. Kyle Ryde in second place. You can see the check flag waving there. Congratulations to Joe Dickinson. A 2-second lead over BSB champion Kyle Ryde.
Here comes the group that we were keeping an eye on. They're coming around the last corner now. And we'll see who takes it. Oh no! And there's riders down. And that looks like
it's Joe Goggins and Luke Bithell.
It is Goggins and Bithell. They were so close out there. You can see the medical car going. I'm not sure the checker flag is out, but I'm not sure if I'm seeing a red flag as well. But that.
Yep, there's a red flag at that end of the circuit. I'm not quite sure if that counts as official. 3 riders involved in the crash. All of them are conscious and looking to be all right, although Luke Bithell is just being helped to his feet by the other 2. Medical car is on the scene. We think that result stands as Joe Dickinson as winner. Even if it does go back a lap, Joe Dickinson will be your winner. Kyle Ryde in second place. Dane Blackburn got the better of Jaron van der Born to take 3rd place.
Yeah, so an unfortunate end to the Ultimate Superminis. Of course, a very close battle between the 5th and 6th riders of Goggins and Bithell. Fortunately, has ended in disaster with them going down at the same place that Crooks went down, wasn't it?
Yes, I believe we have a replay to show you of one of those incidents. Just trying to get it up on screen now. It's the first one of Crooks going up and into the barriers. Let's take a look. Something similar presumably did happen. Yeah, just on the exit, the back wheel steps out or underneath the bike and takes a tumble up onto the tyre wall. He's back on his feet before the bike's even finished tumbling.
Yeah, good stuff from him. So that is probably what's happened then to the other 2, but they were side by side and took each other out. I suspect that's probably what's happened.
Well, there's 3 bikes involved, Anthony. You can see now Luke Bithell is sat up on the tyre wall.
I think there was actually only 2 bikes involved. I think one of them's actually just stopped to help out. I think that's what's happened there, because the other bike was lent up and looking in absolute perfect condition. So I think that was just a rider who stopped to assist with the accident that's happened there. And as you can see, it's happened in a very busy spot with spectators as well. So they've got a full view there of what has happened. But I can see there the riders on their feet as one of them heads to the medical car. And the other 2 back on their feet as well. So all riders on their feet, which is good to see.
It's Joe Goggins trying to get his bike going again, just off shot for you guys at home. We are going to have a short break until the next race because of this incident on the last lap of that Superminis race. Next up, I believe, Anthony, we have the names escape me, but it's the veterans, isn't it?
It is. It's the SY Moto Premier Veterans up next.
We are back here at Lydd for the first of the Pit Bike Veterans races. Anthony, tell us who's on the grid.
Oh, well, this screen should tell you Joe Mosika is starting on pole position with Julian Grommet in 2nd, Andrew Thompson in 3rd, Richard Rice in 4th, Martin Cagane there in 5th place with Joseph O'Neill in 6th, Paul Histon in 7th, and Andy Williams in 8th on the 50 machine. Sean Benton there in 9th place, Gary Carter rounding out your top 10, and Tony Reveley there in 11th place. 48 to 45 from here.
Smaller grid than we're used to for the vets, but tight at the top. We have 5 riders separated by less than a second in qualifying. Mostica 2.5 tenths ahead of Julian Gromit. All then down to Andrew Thomas 3 tenths behind the leader, and then 2 riders 7 tenths off the lead. They are Martin Cockey and Richard Rice.
Oh yeah, so you can see them lining up on the grid there. The 21, Richard Rice, in 4th place, just behind the 75, Julian Gromit.
Yep, Mostica dominated this class earlier in the year. He hasn't had as much success throughout the summer, but he's back on pole position for this one. Julian Gromit to the right-hand side of him. And I'm always thankful of Julian Gromit having Gromit the dog coloured leathers.
It is always helpful, isn't it? On the 75. I always notice, because I know it's a white bike with the small 75 on the front, but there we go, green flags up. Looks like we're ready to go for the 4th category of the day, and it's a good start from all. No wheelies through that there, so excellent start. Mostica holding on to the lead, and the 21 straight up into the 2nd place position, and that is, of course, yeah, Richard Rice. So great start from Rice.
Yeah, he's under pressure going into the chicane, but he holds it from Andrew Thompson, who's the newer rider in this one, who's been challenging Mostica most recently. All over the back of Rice and going into this one. But Rice holds on to 2nd place. No, he doesn't. Thompson up the inside. Good. Of Rice.
Yeah, good move from Thompson there. So again, eye of the needle there, trying to thread it through and getting it under the braking zone, but manages to do it over that hump in the circuit. Takes that 2nd place position as the rest of the field go through. So here's the top 5 that were separated by less than a second with each other. They're going through now. Mostica, Thompson, Rice, Gromit, Cockane, and then we've got the battle further back. It's O'Neill, Histon, Williams, Benton, and Rebley there. So that is your order at the moment. 11 laps to go, and you can see the bottom 5 there, all setting personal best, or everyone's setting personal best, but James Mostica fastest out on circuit, 45.636 this lap around.
Yeah, not a great first lap from Julian Gromit. He'll be disappointed to go from 2nd down to 4th. He's stuck behind Richard Rice now as they go through the 3rd of the chicanes. Interesting to see if Andrew Thompson can challenge Mostica at the front, because Mostica already has over a second's gap to him. But Thompson has been pretty strong these last couple of rounds.
He has indeed. Let's just see what the gap is as they cross the line this time. It's 1.1 last time around. Across the line, it's 1.6. So Mostica pulling away. Sets another new fastest lap of the race, 43.665. That is compared to the 44.2 from Andrew Thompson that lap. So, yeah, big differences in terms of lap times that he's found up there. Mostica finding a little bit more from qualifying.
Bit of work to do for Thompson. We follow 3rd and 4th place just behind Thompson, which is Richard Rice and Julian Gromit. Richard Rice in the black and green affair with a bit of white trim, whereas Gromit's the all-white leathers and helmet. Goes to the inside for the final corner, Anthony, and he's got the job done. Yeah,
it's a good move there from Gromit on the 75 as he slots it there into P3. Richard Rice there with the very noticeable Ricey leathers, as you can see there in bright yellow on the backside of his leathers. So you can see who it's coming up when you're in close quarters, can't you?
Yes, indeed. He's back down where he started now. The only change in your starting order is Thompson's got ahead of Gromit. So it'll be interesting to see if Julian can get back at Andrew in the remaining 3 quarters of the race.
Yeah, Gary Carter there. He's just joined the back of this pack, 1 lap down. So another rider who's decided to join the race. His last lap, 136.5. So let's see if he improves that this time around. But up to 11 bikes out on circuit now. And he's just been slotted back into position, actually. Now he has in 6th position on the number 11. So I think it was a transponder issue.
Looks like we've cut back to the battling pack behind our top 5. 6th place, Gary Carter leads, or did, we're not quite sure. Yes, he is still there. Under intense pressure from Paul Histon for 6th position. Histon goes to the inside. Not quite the opportunity he needed to overtake Carter and his transponder issues.
Yeah, so Carter and Histon there, they were super close side by side going into turn 1. Histon there with a bit of a moment, bringing the bike upright as they go into the braking zone now, holding a much tighter line. Almost had a bit of a wobble there as he asked a little bit too much of that front wheel as we exit turn 4 and 5 onto the back straight now into the final corner of turn 6. He's alongside Carter, he can't quite do it this time. He switches back. Is he going to try and get the switch back now onto the start-finish straight? But here comes the riders behind. It's O'Neill behind as they cross the line again. Carter doesn't clock up, but he is still there in P6. So it's still Carter from Histon as they go into the braking zone again. So close between those two. It looks like Histon's almost tripping over the back of Carter as they go through that first corner, doesn't it?
Joe O'Neill and Andy Williams looking for any opportunity that these guys give them as well. They are just sat back, ready to pounce, I think.
They are, yeah, and you can see the defensive line that Carter's got on the entrance really hugging that inside, isn't he? Not letting anyone get past. But then again, that could really suffer his exit as they exit onto this back straight now into the final corner. Again, Histon alongside looking, can't quite do it. And again, Carter going defensive. And again, a big wobble there from Histon, and that could cost him that position now. He could be going back down into 7th. He does. O'Neill takes the position. So O'Neill now up into P6, and next on his list is Carter. Let's see if if he can have a go, and that is
Tony Reveley, I think, is it?
It is. I think it's the 19.
It's Andrew Thompson. It's Andrew Thompson, Anthony, from 2nd place.
It is. Andrew Thompson goes down as the yellow flag goes through, and that is a massive shame. So Julian Gromit now up into P2, Richard Rice up into P3. So there we go. Now these guys will all be promoted up as well, so they're going to come across the line. So now this is going to be the battle for
5th place.
Yeah, 5th, 6th, 7th. Yeah, so let's just see what they can do as they go across the line. And again, that is some serious pressure that Thompson or Carter is, or O'Neill, I should say, is putting on Carter. There we go. The names were switching around on the timing screen all the time.
Yep, Gary Carter takes a few seconds to come through, but he is there now. That's 5th place he's holding. Joe O'Neill in 6th behind him. Then Paul Histon on the 555.
Yeah, Histon looks like he's got that bike sorted out again, and he managed to close that gap. There was a big gap as they exit the final corner on this lap, but he's managed to close that up already into the back straight, or onto the back straight, into the final corner. Let's just see what can happen as they're 3 wide. So there we go. That was O'Neill down the inside of the final corner. I think he's got that move done. Yes, he has. That has been dealt with straight away, and O'Neill goes into P5, Carter down into P6, Histon still in P7, or not for much longer as he looks to the inside here. No, can't quite do it, has to hold on to P7.
Andrew Thompson's got going again at the back of the pack. He's chasing down Tony Reveley now. To the outside goes Histon. Not quite sure there's a way around the outside there. There isn't.
No, he's massively opened that gap now, hasn't he? He's under some serious pressure from the riders behind. I think that's Andy Williams that he's got pressure from as they try and get through this final chicane onto the back straight. Not quite managed to get past him, though, has Williams. So Histon still in P7. O'Neill now pulling away slightly as well. So O'Neill clearly the faster out there. Personal best time, 47.341, 46.239 that time around, though. So there we go as they go through. 3 laps to go, though, and Histon is all over the back of Carter, isn't he?
Yeah, Andrew Thompson is 3 seconds behind these guys and lapping 3 seconds a lap quicker. So he will be joining these before the end of the race. Keep a close eye on this battle.
It's going to be hotting up, and of course they're going to get that last lap board this time around, and that always brings out the worst in the riders, doesn't it? Brings out the red mist as they go down that little up there into the heavy braking zone.
There's Andrew Thompson.
So he's already closed back on them, hasn't he? Yeah, so he's really opened that gap, and there is Mosticker. He's absolutely flown away. He's got a gap of 5 seconds from the guys behind, but he's absolutely flying ahead at the moment. He's nearly lapping the guys in 5th place.
Yeah, Joe O'Neill comes through in 5th. Histon leads that battle for. Andrew Thompson is past Andy Williams now. He's right in the mix of that battle as we follow Mostic around his final lap. He's going to take the win here.
Yeah, he's got some nice clear traffic, or nice clear air in front of him. No traffic at all for him. And there's a rider down in the second or first hairpin. I can't quite see the number on the screen. It's the 164.
That's Tony Reveley.
It is Tony Reveley, so massive disaster for him. And that is out of turn number 1. But it's last lap for James Mosticker, I should say. Joe being the younger of the riders in the junior classes. But he's going to come into the final corner now across the line. And he's going to take the win for the veterans. Nice wheelie across the line there. And then we're back, I think, with the group for 5th place of O'Neill, Histon and Carter. And I'd be curious to see who's going to come across the line.
I think O'Neill's got 5th wrapped up. Here are Histon and Thompson, is it?
It is Thompson, yeah.
Challenging Histon on the very last lap. Obviously recovering from that crash. He came out of 2nd place. Goes to the inside on the final corner. And we haven't got the shot.
There it is there, and I think he's got him.
He has.
He has got him, so he's got that done in the final corner. Thompson managed to get another position after crashing out earlier on. Takes 6th position at the end of that one. What a race from those guys.
Great stuff from our vets. Mostica back on form for this one. Gromit Rice be happy with their 2nd and 3rd place. Shame about Andrew Thompson, but a good recovery from him up into 6th.
Yeah, very good recovery. We will be heading over to the IMR Junior Stock JSM 140s and Mini GP 140s. They're coming up next for you. Stay tuned. So we're going to get the grid up for you in just a moment for the next one, and here it is. Starting on pole, we are going to have Ryan Frost. Chase Collymore will be starting in 2nd position with Luca Allen in 3rd. Daniel Goodman in 4th place, Harlan McCabe in 5th. Zach Weston will be starting in 6th place with Harvey Lathrop in 7th. Stephen Brooks in 8th place on the number 40 machine. 45.175 from him. 9th place, Ty Butler. Rounding out your top 10 is Mason Greasy there. So George Bowles in 11th. Now, George, a little further back than we'd usually see him. He's usually up at the front there, so we'll keep an eye on that one throughout the race. Charlotte Macuso there in 12th. Nathan Ellis Ward in 13th. Taylor Collymore in 14th. Asian Thomas there in 15th. And George Wood in 16th on the 93 bike. Blake Wilson in 17th. And Ruby Ruth rounding your grid in 18th place with a 56.173. So fairly large grid we've got for this category, haven't we? But again, there are a couple of different categories within this one race, isn't there?
Yes, there are. Anthony, we're not fully through the season yet, so I'll forgive you for not being quite to the end of your learning experience. We're going to go back to the number 10 rider and learn to pronounce his name for, well, I think it's the 3rd time this season. It's Oshan.
Oh, Oshan.
Oshan Thomas. Beautiful Welsh name. No H to give you that sh sound, but I can assure you, Oshan is how it's pronounced.
Oh, well, there we go. You know me, I'm bad with names.
I'm here to help.
Excellent.
Ryan Frost in pole position though, yet to arrive on the grid, him and Chase Collymore. They've been battling out all season. Chase was 2/3 of a second behind him in qualifying. Luca Allen we've already seen today in another race. Support coming in from Josh Lee Waters, who messaged us with support for Luca earlier on, and he's also saying his BFF Ryan is in this one as well. Ryan Frost just lined up on the left-hand side of your screen behind the man in the orange high-vis. Chase Collymore with the orange helmet on the right-hand side. Shares the front row with him.
Of course, yeah, 2 different classes in this one. Top 2 are the JSM 140s, and then the second 2 are the Mini GP 140s. So 2 different classes in this one, you can tell from that one. And Luca Allen with a good start, almost trying to get in front of Daniel Goodman as well. Oh, and a rider down already as they go through turn 1. I can't see the number, but already being recovered there as it's one of those. And a red flag has come out already for that rider. So can't quite see who was the rider. But red flag has come out and is being dealt with already at turn number 1.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, most definitely, especially when it comes to the younger riders. So red flag straight away, just to make sure that all is in order with the rider there who has gone down at turn 1 for the start of this race. So riders will be coming back into the pit lane, I suspect, and of course they'll go for another lap and we'll hopefully restart this one making sure that all riders are nice and safe.
Yeah, round the camp, just the one rider down as that marshal loses his piece of paper. Big smile on his face there. Josh Lee Waters says that Ryan lives next door to him.
Well, there you go.
Or Luke. Well, he's supporting Luca and Ryan in this one. One of them lives next door to him. Thanks for joining us on YouTube, Josh.
So as you can see, we're going to be re-gridding now. Some of the riders already on the grid. There's a lot of water on that barrier there as he jumped over. If you have just joined us on the stream, welcome to round 8 of British Mini Bikes Championship. We are round 8 at Lydd kart circuit. We currently have a red flag at the moment at the start of the IMA Junior Stock JSM 140s and Mini GP 140s. There's an incident at turn number 1 that riders are going to be heading back to the grid very, very shortly. You can already see 3 of the riders there. So we may have a replay of the start, actually. As you can see, the riders got up. So here we go. Here was the start of what happened. You can just see there in the mid-pack, it's the 222 that I saw. Harvey Lathrop that's gone down. And it was a big old drop, wasn't it, as the middle of the pack, and instantly someone there with him. That just shows there. She went for the bike first, didn't she? Do you know what? If it was me crashing and I was in hospital and I said, how's the bike? I'd be more worried about the bike than me. So there we go. It seems to be a trend across the whole biking community, that one.
Rest assured, if you went off, Anthony, I would go to the bike first.
Thanks. I'm glad.
It's what is important, really.
It is what's important. To be honest, I'd be glad that you've gone for the bike first. Switch it off, don't let it oil up.
Well, you wouldn't want me giving you a kiss of life, would you?
Well, no. No, definitely not.
Not that there's anything wrong. Ryan Frost lines up on pole position again. Chase Collingwood to his right-hand side. The all-white bike behind him is Luca Allen. The pink bike is in 4th place. That's Dan Goodman on the Mini GP 140s. There's actually... First and second are JSM 140s, then second, third and fourth are Mini GPs. Then we're back to a couple of JSMs in 5th, 6th and 7th. Just to give you an idea of the different classes. Josh Lee Waters is continuing to comment. Ryan lives next door to me. I'm so glad I met him. He's the best person I've ever met. Thank you very much.
Bit of a
that, Josh.
Bit of a bromance there, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Stronger one than ours even. Anthony.
I know.
I didn't think we'd challenge this weekend for our title on that one.
You need to get on the stream and send me a good message.
I do. I will get my phone out of my pocket in just a minute. In fact, they're going for another lap. I've got time to do it now, haven't I?
Yeah, go.
No signal.
Oh, no. Excuses. I've got signal. Do you want to do it off my phone?
I'll do that. I'd be on your account then.
So we're going for another warm-up lap. These riders heading back to the grid. Of course, recovering there was one of the riders from the red flag. It was the 222 machine of Harvey Lathrop who went down, but he is up on his feet and making his way back into the paddock now. So we're going to get this race back underway. And it was a good start that we had from the front runners, wasn't it? So I did see Daniel Goodman. He got a cracking start trying to get past Luca Allen. I think he's put himself straight up into P3. That, of course, being for the Mini GP 140 class. But they're also in 2 different classes there as well. So you've got the Mini GP 140 and the Mini GP 140 Open class. So, again, same class but different class. So 3 different classes in this one. He's sending me a message.
I'm not. I'm
I thought you had no signal.
Producer James on something that doesn't require signal. It's a special app that we've got between the 2 of us. Back round onto the grid they come then. And plenty of parents and guardians out there helping out these younger riders. I believe it's ages 9 to 15 in this group. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think bang on there.
As we said, Ryan on the left-hand side, Chase on the right. Josh Williams sends in his support for Ty Butler, who started this one in 9th position.
And the green flags go up again, and it looks like we're going to get ready to go for the restart. And again, good start from all getting away. Cracking start from Ryan Frost straight away. Holds on to that lead, and it's a good start from the mid-pack as well. Everyone keeping out of each other's way. Now there it was Daniel Goodman a little further down. There's Charlotte Makusa that we've got eyes on there through the second chicane, or second corner, through the hairpin, and you can see there the gap that Ryan Frost has already got on Chase Coleman, already pulling away, isn't he?
Yeah, good start from the front row, and indeed the second as Luke Allen, Dan Goodman and Harley McCabe follow through the last of the chicanes down into the last corner. They're going over for the very first time. Yeah,
you can see them there as they dump it down a gear, don't they, as they lean the bike in. And the rest of the field going through a little further down. They were side by side, I'd say, through there as the rest of them going through. There, of course, on that very striking pink bike, I believe, is Daniel Goodman on the 57. He's going through there. There's another rider, the 179. That is Harley McCabe there with a very bright striking leathers, isn't it, that he's got there?
Yeah. Looking good. Drop back to this little battle, which I believe is Charlotte Makusa, Ty Butler, Mason Greasley and George Bowes coming into the final of our 3 chicanes.
Yeah, on
Charlotte at the front of this one.
Yeah, of course, Charlotte in the different class out there, so not battling really any of these riders, but let's just see how they do against each other. Now, of course, we've seen Bowes at the front quite a bit. I remember the beginning of the season, he was doing very well. He was at the front, so to see him back here is a bit of a shame, but hopefully he gets on that power. Good luck to Chase and Teo there from Chai, and so good support coming in. 8 laps to go, as that looks like the 97 of Ty Butler has got past Charlotte Makusa. So there we go. So that's another position for him. And of course, a vital gap that he's got from his 2 competitors behind Charlotte Makusa as well. So Charlotte in her own race here between these two as they go on the back straight now. They lift up out of the... I wouldn't say these bikes had what would be defined as the bubble on a bike. So obviously in a faired machine like Makusa's bike that she's got there. She's got the screen. She can tuck into that, get a good bit of aerodynamics on there. And then when you come into the braking zone, you bring your head up out the bubble, and you get a bit of air stopping you as well. So, but I'd say the pit bikes, they don't really have that, do they? They can tuck in, of course, but they don't really have a bubble with their head still hitting the air.
Not typically, no. Charlotte obviously making the most of hers. She's still running in 9th place. Mason Greasley is the bike all over the back of her at the minute. We'll have a look into the last corner, but I don't think he's close enough this time round.
No, and of course you've got to watch out with these different class of bikes, because look how much wider the JSMs are, really, aren't they? So a lot wider handlebars than the Mini GP ones out there. And when I was walking through the paddock, I could see they had looked like Dad's race bike out there as well. Much bigger one though. It was a Kawasaki, and I walked past and I thought, I don't think that's racing.
To the inside goes Greasley, overtakes Makusa in between the second and third chicanes, leads her now into the third chicane. Great move up the inside of that long right-hander at the bottom end of the circuit. Greasley up into 8th.
Yeah, lovely move there, just slotting it down the inside. So good move for him. Now he's got to try and close that gap on Ty Butler to see what he can do. So we'll keep an eye on the gap between Greasley and Butler. It is currently a 2.2 second gap at the moment. Let's just, we'll keep an eye on that, see if he closes in on it. 5 laps to go.
Ryan Frost still leads out the front, but it's a very close battle for second place, Anthony. Chase Collymore is under strong pressure from Luca Allen. That gap is now less than a second. We pick it up here. No, we don't. That's, I'm sorry, I got mistaken for the brightly coloured helmet. Chase has actually extended that gap.
This
back out
is
to 1.3.
This is Harley McCabe and Daniel Goodman that we've got. This is P4 battle that we're looking at here. Now, again, two different classes that we've got here, but of course providing some really close racing. And Daniel Goodman here trying to find a way past Harley McCabe. Let's just see what we can do. Under braking again, just switching that bike in. Looking so controlled as they go through onto the back straight now. And get on that power, squeeze the throttle and try and get down the inside there into the final corner. It looks like he's going to try and go down the inside here. No, he can't. He switches back. Can't quite do it. Is he going to try and get on the power early here? Again, no, can't quite do it into turn one either. So has to still settle for 5th place at the moment. The gap further up as well has slightly opened up as well. So this is the closest battle that we do have on the circuit. It was close though, wasn't it, for P2?
Chase took a second out of him on that last lap as they come across. A back marker here could give a chance to Dan Goodman. Does certainly close them up, but not enough for Goodman to make an impression. Chase Collymore took a second away from Luke Allen on that last lap. That gap now out 2.3 seconds.
Good stuff from those two as this battle is still heating up. 2 laps to go. It is the penultimate lap. So Ryan Frost will be receiving the last lap board this time around as he next crosses the line. As these two go through, Harley McCabe and Daniel Goodman, super close as they exit the first corner into the second corner as well that they go. And they just disappear from our shot there. There we are back with them into turn number 3. As they head through now, this is the tricky one. This is where we've seen riders really try and go for a move over the bump, hasn't it? As the rest of the bikes go through there, they just whiz past our shot. 2 laps to go. And the last lap board goes out. Good luck to George from Diane there.
George currently running in 10th place. Last lap has been started by that 4th and 5th place battle. Harley McCabe and Dan Goodman. Collymore looks to have 2nd place wrapped up now. Luke Allen unable to apply any more pressure to him after getting close earlier on. Ryan Frost coming through the final chicane now onto the back straight.
So these guys onto the infield section. Race leaders are going to be crossing the line very soon, but all eyes are on this battle for 4th place at the moment. Just the spot off the podium, but it's McCabe and Goodman. And let's see who's going to come out on top as they go into the braking zone for the final corner. Can't quite do anything this time around. So it's going to be over the line this time. We've not seen a checker flag, so I think it's now last lap, and we've got some more back markers here giving us a run for it. Now, McCabe manages to go around the outside. Goodman also follows, but it looks like he opened a bit of a gap there. Bit of a shame, so this is going to be the lap that he's going to try and do it on. It's a very bright number 7 there. Which is very strange because the number 7 is Chase Collymore's number, so he's got the wrong leathers on. But there we go, through the final chicane. Our race leader Ryan Frost crosses the line to take the win. Chase Collymore is going to cross the line in 2nd place, and Luca Allen 3rd. And this is the battle for 4th place as they come out the corner. Daniel Goodman can't do anything, and McCabe takes 4th place from Daniel Goodman. Zach Weston's going to come in P6. And there is your 2nd place rider, Chase Collymore, with his orange helmet on the number 7. Ryan Frost, who will also be very happy with his victory. He's going to be a little further on. A little wave to the camera there from Chase. A very, very good race from him.
What's next, Anthony? I think we've got our last class now, haven't we?
We are on to the last class for race 1 of the day. We'll be heading over to the Parker Racing Stock 140s. So we've got the Parker Racing Stock 140s coming out on circuit. This is the B group, so 2 groups that we're going to have out there. Looks like we've got 14 riders out in this one as well. Sebastian Barron will be leading this pack. Adam Jameson in second. Sean Betton there in third, with Shane Manning in fourth. Dan Mirren there in fifth place, with Matt Lewis in sixth. Carl Chard in seventh, with Daniel Adams in eighth. Dean Rowland in ninth, and Nigel Hunt rounding out your top 10. Chris Maynard in 11th, Jamie Merchant in 12th, Craig Chamberlain in 13th, with Jack Wolf in 14th position. 14 riders in this category, and they're just on the grid now. So we're getting going, and I think, do I spot myself a GoPro on that helmet in P1? That should be some good footage.
Looks like.
There's the 59, Adam Jameson. He's joining this one now. Sebastian Barron, who is here, he wasn't in the first one that we saw, was he?
He wasn't in the 160s.
No, he wasn't. He did qualify on pole, but he wasn't there. So, but he seems to be here in this one, sporting the 89 number on our timing screen, but sporting the 13 number on the bike. Always ever so helpful across the paddock. But here we go. We're going to get going again for the B race for the stock 140s. Yellow flag goes up at the back, green flag up at the front, and we're going to get going. Who's going to get the better start off the line for the 140s? And oh, there's a little jump start there from the 59. But let's see who's going. That potentially is going to come up on the camera, isn't it? So that might be a penalty there for Adam Jameson when it comes to the end of the day. But we'll see from that. But he is at the moment leading from Sebastian Barron, who I think has actually gone down to P3 now.
Yeah, interesting start to say the least. We'll wait and see if we get any penalties.
Let's see on that one. So no, so where is he gone? So I can't actually see him on the.
It's Scott McGivern on the 13. Sebastian Barron isn't in this one. Scott McGivern, who joined the last race early, is on the 13 bike, and currently running in second place in this one.
Yeah, so well, I wonder why that's happened then. So there we go.
When we find out, we'll tell you.
Well,
Adam
yeah.
Jameson leads the way then. He's in first place. Scott McGivern, as mentioned, is in second. Connor Winters is in third. Ben Sutzer in fourth. And fifth place is Matt Lewis.
There we go. So as the rest of the field go through, fastest lap of the race at the moment does go to our race leader, Adam Jameson, 48.097. And then you've got the second, third and fourth place battle, McGivern, Winters and Sutter coming through. This is a little further back as well that we've got. The 185, I think this is Matt Lewis and Sean Betton there.
They're getting very close to that front and back tyre.
They were indeed, weren't they, as they go through side by side into the final corner. As the rest of the field go through, everyone tucking in there as they come around the final corner. Now, they're second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. So this is Matt Lewis and Sean Betton here that we're watching as they're going through the 185 and the 837 on the timing screen. I'm probably not sporting that number on the bike, but there we go through it. And then these are the two riders further behind them. So this is Merrin and Mountney, who are going through round at the turn 3 corner, over the hump and into that very tricky braking zone. We're back now with second and third as well. This is McGivern and Winters, and it's very close between these two. Let's see what's going to happen into the final corner. Probably nothing this time around. It doesn't look like he's that close, and then it looked very close further behind as well. So it looked like if that's second and third, fourth, and then it's fifth and sixth, and someone crashes into the pit lane, and that is not ideal. Instantly gets said, get back around, get back out there. Off we go again, rejoined. So I think that was Betton there who went into the pit lane.
Yeah, interesting one, Anthony. We've not seen anyone do that so far today, and I can't imagine we'd see anyone do it again.
Well, you never know.
Oh, very wide.
Yes, very wide onto the grass. Manages to keep it upright, though. And who was that? Who did that? Was the 165, I think it was?
185 from Matt Lewis.
It could be Matt Lewis. I think you could be right. Well, actually, no, I think that's Mountney. It is Mountney, actually, on the 144. That was him there that's gone slightly off onto the grass.
Some interesting lines in this one, to
yes,
say the least.
Some very interesting lines. There's everyone going through, and it looks like, again, riders going wide as they cross the line. And that, again, yeah, Merrin and Mountney and Daniel Adams is the battle that we're watching here, 6, 7 and 8. And let's see who's got what, 8 laps to go. As we go into the second of the chicanes. Out that one, this is where he ran wide onto the grass and into the hairpin, and it looks like Mountney's got the inside of Merrin, and he gets that job done fairly easy, I would say, as we come into the braking zone now. Is he going to come back with a response? A bit of a squirrel under braking from Merrin there, but manages to keep it upright, and now here comes Adams on Merrin. Is he going to try and have a look down the inside of the final corner?
Certainly gone to the inside, Anthony, but I don't think he's close enough. Lots of riders having a look there this afternoon, but not an easy place to overtake, is it?
Well, it's not, is it? Especially in the final corner. We've seen one of the riders already failing at that and going, oh, no, you know what, fancy a pit stop. But coming in, 7 laps to go. And there's the 144 of Mountney. And he's just going through there. He's back with 13, and I'm going to say the 192 of second and third place. This battle is getting ever closer as well. Let's see what happens there as one of the riders pulling to the side. Not sure if that's a mechanical issue and he's returning to the pit lane. It looks like yes, he is.
That's slowed our leader up a little bit. That's Adam Jamieson just ahead. That looks to be less than a second now, that gap. And as they cross the start-finish line, it's halved on that last lap.
He's really slowed down, hasn't he? Has he got an issue with the bike?
Adam Jamieson had a 1.2-second lead a lap ago. It's now just 6/10 of a second. And we see him now coming out. He does look to be going a lot slower, doesn't he?
He does. He may have an issue with that bike that he's nursing it round. And I don't think he's realised how close they are behind. He does look down slightly. It definitely seems a bit slower, doesn't it?
Oh, it's a couple of tenths now, that gap. McGiven's going to be having a look into the final corner.
Let's see what happens. Is he going to make a move into the pit lane? Does he know that there's something wrong and he's going to retire the bike? But no, he looks like he's keeping it out there, but he's under some serious pressure now from McGiven, who switches to the outside. Is he going to try and get the cut back here? Onto the start finish. A big moment there, a big wobble from McGiven. Manages to keep it upright, though, and that is going to cost him dearly. Is Winters going to take the position? It doesn't look like he has managed to take the position. Amazing that McGiven holds on to that.
Heart-in-mouth moment for McGiven. Very lucky, as you said, to hold on. He's still on the tail of Adam Jamieson, though.
Is that rear tyre of McGiven looking a little bit flat? I think he may have a slight flat tyre on the back of that bike. I'm not too sure, though. It looks like it's still inflated, but I think that's why he's struggling. He seems to be doing okay here. It just looked like it was a little bit low on pressure.
Yes, and we're coming up to some back markers now, and indeed the 3 who should be Jamie Marchant, Jack Wolf and Chris Maynard. This is going to be difficult.
It is going to be difficult with these guys trying to get through. Adam Jamieson again is at the fastest lap of the race, so he's pulled the pin again, and he's trying to pull away from these guys. So just gave him a glimmer of hope, didn't he? And then thought, nah, you know what, actually I'm going to pull away again. Scott McGiven still holding on to second, sorry. Connor Winters looking to the inside. Now this is interesting. They're right in the middle of this pack, and now they're all back to back. So Jamieson has managed to close or have the gap closed with McGiven. So McGiven's all over the back, and there's a huge crash at turn 4 and 5, and a shake of the head from one of the riders there, as it's right in front of the cameraman's position. And credit to the cameraman, he didn't move. I know I would have, but massive disappointment from those 2 bikes. And trying to think who.
Connor Winters has gone down.
Is it Winters with the 192?
And one of the back markers, it's either Jack Wolf or Jamie Marchant, I think. The number, it's Jamie Marchant that there, trying to get his bike going again. So he has come into 3rd place man, Connor Winters, and there's another one down there as well.
Yeah, there's another one that's gone off.
I think that's Jack Wolf, who
It
went
is.
down there earlier of his own accord.
But we're back with the leaders now. 3 laps to go as they're still jostling. So it's still McGiven on Jamieson. They've lost Winters, who was with them. Massive shame for him as they go through. And that was actually McGiven who's just taken the lead. McGiven down the inside at the final corner. He's going to cross the line now, and it should update on your timing screen. It does indeed. So the gap's now 2/10 of a second, and there's a big mistake there from Jamieson, who tries to dive down the inside of one of the back markers of the 318, I think that was. So that was Dean Jeffrey tries to go down the inside, and he couldn't quite do it. Locks the front and almost goes over the handlebars. So Jamieson then, that gap's massively opened up, and McGiven looking behind him on the 13.
Yeah, the 45, Nigel Hunt's in there as well. McGivern's got past him as they come back past that incident, which is still going on. They'll be on the last lap now as they come round, and McGivern looks to have enough of an advantage over Jameson.
That is a huge advantage he's got, hasn't he? So, yeah, McGivern now leading on the penultimate lap across the line to receive the last lap board, and he has got a gap as they cross the line of 4 seconds. So there we go, 4-second gap that Jameson has got on McGivern, and there you can physically see it there. So he's been very lucky with getting through those back markers, wasn't he?
Yep, he's navigated his way through them and into the lead all at the same time. He's got a 4-second gap back to Jameson. He's done well for himself, hasn't
He has done well for himself, hasn't he? So good recovery ride from him. Started on pole position, had a bad start, went down a couple of positions and managed to bring it back, but it's last lap time and it's last corner time as well. So as he comes through onto the start-finish straight, he'll receive the checkered flag. This time, there it is for Scott McGivern to take the win for the B race of the stock 140s. As a fist bump there. Adam Jameson comes back in second place on the 59, with Ben Sutter taking P3. Shane Matney in fourth. Matt Lewis taking fifth on the 187. And Carl Chard moves up into P7, and Daniel Adams moves down to Carl Chard moves up to P6, sorry. Daniel Adams moves down to 7th. Connor Winters, after the incident, finishes P8.
Next up, it's the Stock 140A group.
So we're going to have the A race come out very shortly. They're just making their way out now. This is, of course, the final race for race 1 of today. Parker Racing Stock 140. Luke Westerman is going to be your pole sitter for this one. Ben Lord just behind him in second place, or alongside him on row 1. Row 2 is Ryan Tyes and Jim Lovell. On row 3, Ty Kinton and Robert Pettit. Mick Lord and Jonathan Pettit in 7th and 8th. And it's Robert Cox in 9th, with Ben Klukas running a top 10. Phil Dickens in 11th place, with Kai Jones in 12th. Chris Edwards in 13th, Peter Spalding in 14th, Dougie Craven in 15th, Luke Small in 16th place, Scott McGivern. I think we're looking at the other grids now. So I think we stop at Luke Small in 16th place. So 16 riders in this one as we get ready to start this one.
Yep, exciting grid again for the last race of round 1 of races. You seem to be looking for something, Anthony. Can I help you?
Well, yeah, I've got a drink in my bag. And
Fraser will get it for you.
there we go.
Fraser. Green flag is up though.
And looks like we're getting ready to go. So, who's going to get a good line off of that? And that was a cracking start from Westerman, straight away into the lead. It's completely left Ben Lord for dust there as the rest of the grid follow through. Almost a little bit of a scuffle at the back, but everyone getting through nicely.
Yep, Ben Lord stays in second place. Ryan Tyers and Jim Lovell follow him through. Everyone away nice and safely as they head down into the final chicane for the first time. You see that hump there from that angle. They come under braking on the downside of that as we have a rider down. Who's that? Is that one of the leaders? I think that's Ben Lord, is it?
Is it Luke Westerman? Oh, no. Okay, so 2 riders went down. There was 2 separate accidents that happened there.
11, it is indeed Luke Westerman.
Yeah, so Westerman's gone down, but then there was another collision between 2 riders as well further back, and one of the bikes has got an issue. There's a lot of smoke coming out the back of it as well. Is that a potential oil leak that he's got? And that could be a disaster for some of the riders that the next come round as they come round on one of the corners. So you might see it as they come out of shot here. One of the bikes is potentially a lot of smoke coming out the back of it, but there was 2 riders who'd gone down here, and they seem to have cleared away now.
Oh, very near close to those 2 going down as well. That's Ben Lord and Ryan Tyers now in first and second place. Lord leads the way down towards the back corner. Top 4 very close together.
Again, a lot of smoke coming out of one of the bikes. Yes, there is a potential oil leak, I think, out of one of the bikes. I don't know if it's an exhaust issue or oil coming out the bike, but there's a definite issue with that bike now. There's a black flag going out to that bike, so he's being pulled into the pit lane for a mechanical issue with the bike, and he's pulling over to the side now.
That's the number 200, Peter Spalding. He's made his way off the track.
I can't see anything dripping from that. Of course, they have got the drip tray there at the bottom to catch anything, but when you're moving along at such speed, whether or not that's going to help. So, yeah, there's definitely an issue with that one. So, back with, though, your race leaders. It's Ben Lord from Tyres, from Lovell, from Kinton. And they're 4 riders super, super close. The top 3 closer than the 4th. Bit of a gap to 4th. But as they cross the line now, again, that recovering bike there. A lot of smoke pouring out that one. Not good. So Ben Lord leading the way from Ryan Tyers and Jim Lovell. And let's see who's going to come out on top on this one. 9 laps to go of these 3. And who's going to come out on top?
Jim Lovell, fastest man on track last time around. He did this earlier on, though, and dropped back a little bit. Let's hope he can stay with this lead battle of 4. We've got Ty Kinton in 4th place as well, making it a 4-horse race. They come down now to that last corner. Quick look over the shoulder from, I think, Ryan Tyers.
Ryan Tyers looking to the inside now of Ben Lord around the final corner. Stay committed, super, super close. How they didn't make contact there, I have no idea. Cross the line, who's going to take the lead on this one? On the inside, Ben Lord manages to hold on to it. Ryan Tyers says, no, I'll try again. But that was some super close racing through that final corner there from Tyers and Lord. Again, how they didn't make contact, I have no idea. But let's see who's going to take it this time. So, round turn at number 3. It's the hairpin. They kind of come back on themselves now over the lump. This is where we saw riders go down earlier on in the day. Over that lump now, heavy on the brakes. Try not to lose that front end there. Super easy to do it. Back on the power, and then super easy to lose the back end here, as we've seen from other riders. Ryan Tyers running slightly wide. He's alongside now, and he tries the outside this time. Is he going to try the cut back here? No, he can't do it, so Ben Lord still holding on to it. But now they've all concertinaed up, haven't they? There's 4 riders now in this pack. This is one to watch. 7 laps to go. It's Tyers and Lord who's going to come out on top of this one as we go into the second corner, the second chicane. They all manage to get through as they do the flip-flop, back up the gears into turn number 3 now, and they come back on themselves. Oh, it's super close, isn't it?
Quick note on Luke Westerman, who dropped out of this battle early on. He's up to 13th now on a recovery ride. As they get so close through that one, Anthony. Those front and back tyres of Lord and Tyers.
Oh, and Tyers runs wide, manages to keep it, looks over the shoulder to see if he's got anyone for company. You have Lovell's right there, but he wasn't able to capitalise on that mistake from Tyers. So now as they go through across the line, Lord sets a new fastest lap of the race, 43.172. Lots of people watching this race, and I can see why. It's a proper head turner, this one. These guys are absolutely flying out there, these top 4. And as they go through the second chicane around turn 3, 6 laps to go. It's still all to play for. Tyers making little mistakes here and there, but is staying with Lord. Lord is not getting away, is he?
Absolutely not. I don't think he will for the second half of this one. So close through this, the third chicane. It's a shame that Tyres can't seem to get the exit and the run down to the final corner, which seems to be the favourite overtaking spot. Otherwise, I say that. To the inside he goes.
There it is. There's the move. Tyres takes the lead of this race with 5 laps to go, but the gap is less than 1/10, and I'm not surprised as the rest of them follow through. So Ben Lord now down into second position, and he's got Jim Lovell for company now just behind him. And there's a mistake from Lovell, a bit of a twitch from the bike, and that's going to allow Kinton to go down the inside. Not quite this time. So Lovell managing to hold on to that one, but a huge wobble, and that's opened up the gap. So now Lord is going to try and get back on Tyres, and let's just see what they do as they exit the chicane. Is he going to try and get him back at the same place that Tyres got him?
And he's got a decent exit. He goes to the inside. He's looking for it, Anthony.
It is. He's going to try and repeat the move, and he does so. And he takes the lead back of the final corner. So now they both know that they can do that move. Let's just see who's going to be in the opportunity to do it on the final lap. That's going to be the key moment. And again, a couple of the riders running wide. There's Kinton still running wide there with Lovell. So we've got 2 races here. We've got first and second. And again, Tyres goes down the inside of turn 3, makes the move done. Is he going to allow Lord to come back at him, though? They're side by side into the braking zone here. Is Lord going to go around the outside? No, he can't quite hold it. So there we go. Tyres retakes the lead with a move down the inside of turn 3. Absolutely epic stuff, and he runs wide. Now that's going to leave Lord an opportunity to go back down the inside here. No, he can't quite do it this time. That's super close from these guys.
Yeah, down that back straight into the third chicane. Ben Lord seemed to have the pace, but I didn't think he fancied the outside line of the chicane, so pulled out.
He did indeed, didn't he? But Tyres really seems to be struggling in the exit of turn 5, doesn't he? On the back straight, always running wide, and that's not what you want to do, because if you get one of those wheels on the grass and you're full throttle there as you get onto that straight, he's going to drop the bike, and I really don't want to see that happen, because these guys are absolutely flying out there, and again, dumping it down into the braking zone. Lord all over the back of Tyres as we exit this one again. Tyres again going slightly wide, keeps it on the track though.
To the inside he goes. Oh, that very last corner, it's very close, but I don't think he's going to make it this time. No, he isn't.
No, I can't quite do it that time. It was a good attempt with 2 laps to go. It's penultimate lap time. Personal best from Lovell. He sets a 43.217 in P3 at the moment. He's still got Ty Kinton close behind, but not close enough for a move. And is that a bit of smoke I'm seeing coming out of Ty's bike?
Can't see it myself, Anthony.
I think I saw a puff of smoke out of Ty's bike. It may have just been a bad gear change and a bit of a puff, but I definitely saw a puff of something there. Don't know if he may have an issue, but he's still going strong at the moment there in first place. Only a 10th between them now. It's going to be last lap board this time, and again, as we say it in every round, in every race, it brings out the worst in them. And again, a move down the inside into the final corner from Lord. Has that done it? It has done it. Lord retakes the lead with the last lap board coming out this time, so Tyres is probably going to try again what he did a couple of laps ago into turn 3. Let's see what he can do as he nods his head as he goes, right, let's do this, into turn 2, into turn 3 now. Is he going to try and go down the inside here? No, he can't quite do it this time, not close enough. He's going to try and get the switch back. Here comes Lovell. Lovell now looking to the inside into turn 4. Can't quite do it this time, slots back. Around turn 5 as well, onto the back straight. Don't run wide here, Tyres. You've done it before. Please don't do it again. No, he's not done it. Now, is he going to dive down the inside into the final corner? Yellow flag in the final corner, and that is going to be the decider for that one, as there's a rider's gone down as they cross the line, and a huge moment from Lovell there as he goes across and leaves a huge mark on the track, but it's Lord, Tyres and Lovell, Kinton taking 4th. What a race those two gave us.
Excellent stuff, yeah, entertaining from start to finish. Can't wait for race 2 of this one.
This is going to be a fantastic one. Of course, it's race 2 later on in the day. We're going to be restarting then with what we ended up last time, but a fantastic race all the way throughout. Mick Lord there, he came in 5th, Robert Cox in 6th, Robert Pettit, Jonathan Pettit, Kai Jones and Luke Westerman were your top 10 for that one. Heading over now to CW Bikes Junior SM90 and Mini GP 110s. So here's your grid for race 2 of the day for the Mini GP 110s and SM90s. Zach Weston will be on pole with Daniel Stevenson on second position with the new bike that he was handed, of course, from the paddock after a devastating incident where it was stolen. So massive shame for that one, but back on the grid. Luca Wilkinson in third place, Joe Mosimostiker in fourth, Ollie Pearson in fifth place, Ruby Booth in sixth, Joel Grieg in seventh, and Charlie Pearson in eighth on the 100 machine. Ninth place, Thomas Bond, with Jack Newton rounding out your top 10. Billy Carter in 11th place, Brooke Champion in 12th, Hudson Cooper in 13th, Kyron Nelson in 14th, Charlie Ward in 15th, and Blake Wilson, no time set, in 16th place. That rounds out your grid, so it looks like we're probably actually going to have 15 riders in this one. So yet to leave the pit lane at the moment, onto the grid. We saw an interesting development, of course, at the first race where we had a red flag on lap 1. Hopefully we don't get a repeat of that one. They have a good clean start and they get away. But let's just see what happens. And that man clearly needed a sit down on the barrier there, didn't he?
It's a hot day.
Yeah, it's a hot day, and he's wearing leathers. A nice
Ooh.
Jump there and a leap. Look at that.
Ninja style.
It was ninja style, wasn't it? Second man, not so much. There we go. They all come leaping over the barrier now. I like this camera. Let's keep this camera on. As they all jump over the barrier. I'm sure there's a gate there somewhere. Sponsored by this hand. But there we go. As the rest of the parents head on. Let's see what we can get in this one. As
James is just trying to air out the comms box. We're getting very warm in here.
It's a bit stale, isn't it?
Just a tad.
I think stale's a good word for it. He's at the entrance, fanning a big fan.
It's a lid of a huge box. Very much needed. We're in that little, well, the box just up to the right of this shot, actually. And as you can see, blue skies, sun beaten down. It's the second coming of summer here.
It is, isn't it?
It really is. I think it's because we're so close to France. We've somehow inherited the weather.
Well, you say that. A few days ago, I was actually in Frankfurt for the IAA, Frankfurt Motor Show. And it was raining and it was cold.
Those Europeans and the weather. Glad we're getting out of it.
Questionable view, I think, for some people on that one.
The number 11 lines up on the right-hand side. They were still waiting for pole man to come out for this one.
Oh, indeed. So, let's just see.
Of course, earlier on in the day, he had a bit of an issue at the start of this one. And we're not indeed going to see him. It's Zach Weston, not here. So Dan Stevenson starts this one at the front.
Skirt starts are out. Massive wheelies at the back of the grid. Not sure who that was, but we get going.
Stevenson leads the way through the first chicane due to the missing Weston. He's shown up on the timing though, so he may have started this one at the back for some reason.
Maybe.
We'll confirm with you as they come through the first lap.
Now, the reason being is because the bike last time was quite unreliable, and maybe safety reasons thought, well, you know, we're going to start you at the back just in case, you know, someone goes into the back of you if you stall again. So that could be the reason. I'm not sure if that is the reason, but I've just made that up, but maybe.
It's a solid reason, Anthony. He had trouble on both the starts earlier. A bit of an issue on the first time, and the second one just didn't get away at all. No, not at all. Onto the back straight, though, and it's a good lead already from Daniel Stevenson. And messages coming in from Stevenson again, from Mick there. And 11 laps to go now, and the fastest lap of the race for Stevenson, 52.81. But then it's taken away from him. So on Zach Weston, he's up in to P9, so he is out there with a 52.7. So we're probably going to see him charge through the field like he did last time. He flew through last time, didn't he? Absolutely. Just as soon as I'd said that he may have well scuppered his chances with that stall, he proved me wrong and sent it straight to the front.
Still can't see him, though, on any of the cameras. So he's out there, but we can't quite see him. There's Joe Mosimostiker. He's piling on the pressure to Luca Wilkinson. So let's just see what they're going to do into the final corner. Mostiker looks behind him, looks to the inside. Not close enough this time. Slots in. As they...
That was Zach Weston popping up at the back of this group, Anthony.
It is. There he is there, actually. Yeah, just at the back of that shot. So there he is, just behind this group of four, and he's closed that gap massively, hasn't he? So he's up into P6, down the inside of the number 9, gets it done. So that's Zach Weston in front of, I think it is Joel Grieg, so he's got the number 3 on the timing screen, but it looked like a number 9 on the bike, and again trying to get past some more of them. He's got the 76 for company there as well. I think that's Ruby Booth that he's trying to get past. I think he's got past Ruby Booth. Next on his list
is Luca Wilkinson. Because Joe Mozzie Mostic has got up into second place.
He has indeed, and it looks like he's already got. Wilkinson there on the inside, and it looks like he's already got Mosticker as well. He has. He's taken 2 on that straight alone. So there we go. On to the start-finish straight. Zach Weston up into P2 as the rest of the field slot through. Next on his list is Daniel Stevenson, and there's a bike down
That's
in
Luca
the wall.
Wilkinson.
It is Luca Wilkinson. He's gone into the wall at turn number 1. It looked like a heavy hit, but
support on its way to him now.
Yellow flag's out in turn 1, but I think we're going to see a red flag come out. Yes, the red flag does come out for an incident at turn 1 involving, we believe, Luca Wilkinson on the 76. After an incident there, it looks like he just lost the back end. Or was that Luca Wilkinson that I just saw go past there?
May well have been. He didn't look too badly hurt, but we will find out momentarily.
So we'll try and see who it is out at turn 1 just to let you know. But again, red flag after 3 laps. And let's see what happens. That trailer's so good, we watched it twice. There we go. So red flag is out at the moment due to an incident on lap 3 of the CW Bikes Junior SM90s and Mini GP 110s. Just being sorted out now. And the bikes are making their way back out onto the grid. So we're going to get this one going again. We'll see who's missing. But we believe, potentially, it was Luca Wilkinson, but we will find that out for definite when they come to the grid.
We will indeed. How far were we through that race? I was kind of enjoying it, too much to notice.
I think we were 3 laps in.
Okay, it felt like longer than that, to be honest, but we should be going back to the grid order then.
Yes, I believe so. It's probably the order that we are going to go back to. I don't know if that means then that Zach Weston's going to have to go back to the back of the grid.
Be an interesting one, given that he qualified on pole and was up to second. And yeah, we'll see.
We'll see where he is. So bike's going to be heading back round. And of course we will see where everyone slots in. But get this one going very, very soon. Everyone going through there. Let's just see who lines up on the grid. Now, where did Luca Wilkinson qualify the first one? So he finished. So he qualified 3rd. There is 3rd place. That's second place.
That's Dan Stevenson.
He's Dan Stevenson.
And yes, we are missing. Well, I think that's him in the background actually, coming through around the back of the shot. Let's see if he makes his way up the middle of the grid. There's no one waiting.
There's no one waiting on the spot for him, is there? So
he may be starting at the back though. We shall see when they come around.
Very true. So let's just see. So then, we are missing 1st and 3rd. So your what is that, the 5th place man, 5th place rider, Ollie Pearson, he's got clear track in front of him, and he's on the inside line. So if he gets a good start, this could be...
Find himself in the lead.
He could find himself in the lead, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So if I was him now, I'd be like, right, don't mess this up, don't mess this up, don't pop a wheelie, feed the clutch, a little bit of gas.
Joe Mostica's also got a good opportunity here. He's in grid 4, but 2nd place. Green flag up at the back. Well, yellow flag's up at the back. Green flag goes up at the back.
Looks like we're going to get going again for the first of the second races today. It's a good start again from Stevenson, who gets going. And again, rest of the field slot through. And again, we saw there that Zach Weston did start at the back of the grid again. So he's going to be back up into a fairly decent position, I suspect, already.
Luca Wilkinson did make the grid as well. He started at the back. So full complement of riders for this one.
There we go. Good to see. Probably then it was Luca that did go down, but he's feeling well enough to get back and going again, which is excellent. So we slot through 8 laps to go now for this one as they exit turn number 5 onto the back straight in towards turn 6, the final corner. Very fast hairpin that tightens, and again that's Zach Weston right down the inside there, holding that inside line. Can't quite gain a move there this time. They'll cross the line. You'll see the order on the timing screen pop up. Fastest man is Zach Weston, 51.91 out there, and he's got Joel Grieg just in front of him as well that he's going to have to try and get past, and I think he almost successfully does so. No, he can't. He just can't do that, but Joel Grieg's going down the inside of Ruby Booth, and Ruby Booth almost makes contact there with Joel Grieg, loses a position to Weston, so Weston now up into 4th.
Yeah, very close. They're lucky that they didn't collect each other and cause another red flag. We've had a reduced number of laps for this race now. It's shown as 7, although we will keep a close eye out for that last lap walk. We have been mistaken so far today. Round they come then for the new first lap, as up inside goes Weston on Grieg, I believe, or is that Mostica now?
That was Mostica that he went down the inside of, and it looks like he's already got Daniel Stevenson as well into the first corner. Yes, he has. So, new race leader, Zach Weston, all the way back to the front. Daniel Stevenson holding on to P2 at the moment, 6 laps to go. But he has got the close company of Mostica just behind him. Let's just keep a very close eye on that one. Let's see how that battle progresses, because they're super similar on times, aren't they?
Yeah, they've been battling all day.
They have been, haven't they? Of course, we would expect Zach Weston to get right to the front. Of course, he's on one of the Mini GP classes. He's on the 110s. These guys are on the JSM 90s, so they're actually a smaller engine that they've got out there. So, yeah, that'll be why he's getting to the front and disappearing. For anyone wondering, he is in a different class out there. So there we go. As we're being fanned in the commentary box, it's amazing. Weston. So leading the way, Daniel Stevenson with close pressure from Mostica as he's going through now. Still really close, these guys, aren't they? They're not giving each other any room, really, are they? 5 laps to go. Let's just see what they're doing on times. Last lap, Mostica, personal best 50.1 compared to Daniel Stevenson's 50.5. So there we go. He was 4/10 faster on that last lap alone. Gap is 0.3 of a second at the moment. Let's see if it takes any more out of him as they go down the back straight into the final corner.
Yeah, it looks to be very close at the minute. Mostica will be hoping to improve on his finish from earlier. Stevenson took 2nd place earlier on this afternoon, but Mostica right on the back of him now. I think he's closed up even more.
Yes, indeed. The gap, still 0.3 of a second over the timing beam.
So he closed in by 100th of a second.
Yes.
Amazing how I could see that, isn't it, Anthony? It's almost as if I was making it up. But no, now he's definitely closer.
Yeah, he is much closer. He was much
more
closer.
than 100th.
He is definitely closer now, isn't he? 4 laps to go as they exit turn number 3, as they go into now 4 and 5. Over the hump now, very tricky braking zone now as they go round. Good line throughout. It looks like he was bobbing his head there. It looks like he was happy with his entrance there to turn number 4 was Mostica as they go onto the back straight. As he weaves slightly off the racing line, comes back on. No one really to defend to. You've got quite a big gap there from Joel Grieg further down as the rest of the field go through. 3 laps to go now.
Seems to get very close in this first part of the lap, Anthony.
He does, doesn't he?
I don't think he's as quick in the second half of it.
Again, didn't we see this on the first race where I think this sort of setting he's running, he's got a good acceleration out of the corners, but then he just can't get it on the back straight. He can't get to that top end, can he?
Slower corners suit him better
Yeah.
at the start of the lap.
So as we get past one of the back markers there,
I think that's Charlie Ward.
I think you heard me right. So Stevenson goes to the inside, Mostica goes to the outside, and that has caused him to open that gap up slightly, hasn't it? That gap is up to half a second now when they last crossed the line. That's what it is this time, but it looks like he really closes up there, doesn't he, on the final corner?
Yeah, keep an eye on it as they cross the line. They are a good 11 seconds back from Zach Weston, and there's a pretty wide by there.
Yeah, I was going to say, these guys are very close, and it's the number 3 and the number 76, so it's Joel Grieg and Luca Wilkinson. Luca Wilkinson, after his earlier collision, is right up the field and is fighting back, isn't he? So he's still fighting fit out there. And it was a huge wobble from Grieg, wasn't it? It looked like he was struggling to keep that bike in check as he was going through the last corner. Massive front end wobble, which is horrible, by the way, if you ride a bike. When you get that, it's the best way to do it is power out of it, I would say. But when you're coming into a braking zone, that's a bit difficult. So yeah, last lap time it is for Zach Weston on the Mini GP class. Daniel Stevenson still leading the JSM 90 class. But he has got Mostica very close behind him. He has closed that gap up slightly again. 4/10 of a second, back up to 5/10 this lap. They've got a back marker just ahead. I believe this is Kyron Nelson that they've got, again on one of the Mini GP 110 classes that they're going to have to try and navigate past. Oh, and Mostica goes round the outside of the hairpin number 2, or the chicane number 2, gets it done, and manages to take first for class, second overall, for this race on the last lap.
Yes, but Stevenson may well come back at him through this second part of the lap, and he does into the third chicane.
Has he run too wide, though? Has he gone too deep? Is he going to suffer on the exit now? Is Mostica trying to get back? No, he can't quite do it, can he? So that was a well-timed dive down the inside, and Weston takes the lead. And oh, it's a big dive there from Mostica. Can't quite do it. Crosses the line. Stevenson holds on to P2. Overall, Mostica P3, P1 and 2 in class, as Luca Wilkinson crosses the line in 4th, Joel Grieg in 5th, and then it's Ruby Booth in 6th. Charlie Pearson 7th, Jack Newton in 8th, and these guys still look like they're racing, even though you've definitely finished, guys, don't worry. Thomas Bond crosses 9th, and Billy Carter crosses 10th in class. So there we go. Cracking race from those guys. We'll be heading over to the Extra Flow Stock 160s next.
So this race apparently hasn't finished, despite the fact we're seeing checkered flags. That's the last lap board going out on the left-hand side now.
It has,
Apologies for announcing the result. This one still rages. They were looking like they were still racing, Anthony, because they hadn't seen the checkered flag.
Yeah.
So Daniel Stevenson holds on to second place from Joe Mozzie Mostica. As they go round now for this, despite the fact it says end at the top, this is their last lap. So Zach Weston's still out in front. He's got this one almost wrapped up. They come into the final rendition of the third chicane now. I don't think Mostica's close enough, as Zach Weston does take the checkered flag this time around. There is a flag being waved down there. Mostica takes a look into the final bend, but no can do, unfortunately. And there indeed is the flag. The race is now over. Apologies, viewers. Our autonomy screen shows us what you see on the left-hand side there, and we can't see any of the track from our commentary position. So we are slightly disadvantaged.
That is the one downside to not having a window in your commentary box. You can't see what's happening outside unless you're looking at the cameras, and if the cameras aren't looking at it, it's yeah. So yes, we do apologise about that one, but now we are heading over to the Extra Flow Stock 160s. So here's your grid for the next race. It's the 160s, it's race 2, and it's the B group. Scott McGibbon will be starting on pole with Adam Jameson in 2nd place. Matthew Putland in 3rd with Anthony Moore in 4th. Dean Rowland in 5th place with Tommy Champion in 6th. Jack Wolf in 7th, and Dan Merrin with no time set in P8 on the 53 machine. I believe it is only the 7 riders that we have got in this one, as we only had 7 earlier on. So Mick Lord there, no time set as well, P9, but I think we are going to have the 7 bikes out on circuit, but we'll see when they come back out. And it's an interesting development in the last race. For anyone who wanted to know why the incident occurred at the end of the last race, the race did finish at the time it was supposed to finish, but unfortunately race control a little bit distracted by parents signalling at the riders to go faster, which they're not allowed to do. So the call to put the last lap board out was actually missed. So yes, they got an extra lap, got a cheeky extra one. There we go. So here's the group coming out. There's the number 12, and there's the 13. That's Scott McGibbon.
Yeah, we've seen Scott McGibbon now twice already today. Well, 3. Wait, I'm losing track of the number of times Scott McGibbon's been out on track. Interesting one in that last one, yeah. In the last lap board forgot to go out. There will be no Mick Lord in this race. If we did read him out, apologies for that. But we are expecting Adam Jameson. There's Adam Jameson on the 59. Come round and start somewhere near the front.
Now, we didn't have Sebastian Barron on the front row last time, did we? And we still don't. It is Scott McGibbon there. So, yeah, my results on the laptop here are slightly different to what we actually see. So, yeah. So, but it is Scott McGibbon on the front there, on the left-hand side. Right-hand side being Adam Jameson on the 59 machine, and so forth. Backwards, small grid, but the flags go up, the revs rise, and we're going to get going for race 2 of the day for this class. It is the B class, 12 laps to go, and it's a good start from the 59, Adam Jameson, who managed to get straight away up into first position, but he's still under massive pressure from Scott McGibbon on the 13 machine. But it's a good start as we go through turns 1 and 2. Yeah,
Adam Jameson took a trip across the curb, but it's worked out well for him. He's got ahead of Scott McGibbon in this one. And Matthew Putland, I think, has taken up 3rd place.
I think you may be right on that one as we go into the tricky braking zone of turns 4 and 5. Onto the back straight now. It's still Adam Jameson from Scott McGibbon. Those two very close for comfort with each other, and it looks like McGibbon's going to try and go for a move down the inside of the final corner. No, slots back, thinks against it. And there's your 3rd place man as well. So the timing screen will come up on the left-hand side of your screen as they cross the line. There it is for you. So it's Jameson, McGibbon, Putland. They're your top 3. Then Rowland, Moore, Champion, and then Wolf in 7th. Now, Wolf, of course, had a bad race 1, didn't he? As he came a cropper. And there's the 13 of McGibbon going on the grass. He almost came a cropper there as well. Very easy to run right out of the second corner, isn't it?
Yep, not the ideal line, that, Scott. You'll want to try something different on lap 3, but he's still in contention for this one.
He is indeed, so he's not that far back. 0.3 per second as he last crossed the line. Let's see what it is this time. I suspect it will be more, and a little bit more as well, as he runs slightly wide there, almost getting onto the grass. But that, to me, looks like it's probably going to be a half-second gap. Let's see when they cross the line. 0.6 of a second, so I was fairly close for that one. 10 laps to go. Let's see if he's going to try and close that gap up. He's got plenty of time to do it, I should say, and he's had a nice clean exit out of turn 1 and a clean exit out of turn 2. So hopefully he's going to try and reel in Jameson, who has had a very good day today, I would say.
He's riding well out there. Seems to like this at Lydd circuit. Down into the southeast of the country. About as southeast as you can go, really, without being in France.
Well, yeah, I would definitely say so. Okay, you could go a little bit further, but yeah, we are very far away from where I live. Yeah, 10 laps to go. They're going to cross the line this time. 9 laps will remain. 0.6 of a second is the gap this time. They cross the line, and McGibbon's taken the lead. So where's that happened? We've missed that. McGivern is in the lead, so we've missed that.
No, they've changed back. They look very casual there as they were side by side.
They do, don't
Perhaps
they?
McGivern's giving it back for some reason. I can't imagine why.
I am not too sure. There we go. We missed that one, but 9 laps to go, and we'll keep an eye on this. So it's Jameson and McGivern. McGivern back into second place on the 13, but still ever so close as they exit turns 5 onto the back straight. Don't run too wide, which they don't. Get back on the line, and it looks like McGivern's going down the inside into the final corner again. No, slots back, so Jameson holds onto that, defends well as they cross the line again. And it's 1/10 of a second is the gap. Again, it looks much closer than that, doesn't it? As they go through, both with a good exit out of turn 1. Again, straight back into it. Repeating pretty much turn 1 again now with turn 2. Little bit of a tighter chicane, though, this one. And that is the 88. So the 66. I think that's Wolf again.
Yeah.
So that's a massive shame for him. He's not had a good day, has he?
Unfortunately not. No, but these two are having an all right one. They're very close together. They go through the third game for the 5th time.
Yeah, 8 laps to go when they cross the line. 7 will remain. Quick mouse there, and again, McGivern down the inside. It looks like he's got this one done. So McGivern down the inside. He takes Jameson as they come now onto the start-finish line. You'll see it change. There it is, and it's a personal best time, 46.395 from McGivern. Fastest lap is still Jameson. And Jameson has, I think, his bike's not clocked as he crossed the line because he's gone down into 3rd on your screen. But as you can clearly see there, he's still in 2nd position. So it is still McGivern from Jameson as they go again into the tricky braking zone of turns 4. It's so easy to ask too much of the front end of that bike into that corner, but they do it successfully as there's, again, something flapping off the bike of McGivern, isn't
They're
it?
both very wide there. I think McGivern went first, sticks a right leg out, and Jameson seemed to be following him through and unable to capitalise on his mistake because I think he was using him as a reference point.
Yeah, it was monkey see, monkey do on that one, and he followed him straight off the circuit, managing to both keep it upright. So that was lucky. And yeah, what is that? Has he got waving on his foot peg? He's got something flying off that. That's a bit distracting, isn't it? But as he goes round the turn 3 hairpin, has a look over his shoulder. Yeah, he's still there. So concentrate on the brakes. Tucks it in. Again, Jameson just looks like he's a bit more controlled into the entrance of that corner. The last lap, they both run wide again there slightly, I would say, as they go through. I wish I was there for Chloe Jones. And yeah, it's some good racing here today. And good weather as well. So if you're not racing, you can definitely be basking in the sunlight. Jameson with the new fastest lap of the race, 46.029, as he piles on the pressure of McGivern. McGivern now diving into turn 2 as they do the flip-flop now onto turn number 3. Bringing it round the hairpin now, all the way round, back up onto the straight, over the bump. And into that tricky braking zone again. So that's the only undulation change that they've got out there. And again, it's probably in the worst place into a braking zone, isn't it, for corner? Yeah,
you were loading up the front wheel, as you said many times throughout today, Anthony. It's a good challenge. We've seen one overtaking manoeuvre into there, or perhaps 2, but it will be really tricky to slow the bike down and get it up alongside another one at that particular part of the track. Jameson, I think, is just biding his time here. He knows there's a couple of laps remaining of this race, and he's got the pace. He set the fastest lap twice now so far. So, yeah, I think he's waiting for a chance to get by, but Scott McGivern won't have too much of a chance to get him back.
Yeah, very true. And, of course, it is always a risky thing to do to wait until the last couple of laps, of course, because if there's an incident out on the circuit and the race is stopped, you know, if there's only 2 laps left, they'll stop the race there and then you finish second. So even though it's, you know, you want to try and wait and hold it out, and he's looking like the inside here. No, he can't quite do it again. So he slots back into position and gets it going. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, you lose at that. So it's a bit of a risk, and you want to get past it ASAP, really, don't you? But it's just that fine line of knowing when to do it, isn't it? 3 laps to go as they go around into the second corner again. Still absolutely neck and neck. Putland still in 3rd, Moore in 4th, Rowland in 5th, Champion in 6th at the moment. 6 laps down is Wolf, who looks like a retirement from the race, as we saw earlier. He was pushing his bike. but all eyes are on the top two, McGibbon and Jameson, and that gap looks like it's opened up slightly, hasn't it?
Just a bit. Yeah, he's not got that long left now. He wants to be shaping up and moving the next lap or so. There'll be 2 left after this one, and yeah, I think they're close enough still.
They are still fairly close. I mean, the gap there, as they cross their own new personal best from Jameson, again 45.9, but they are catching to the back of, I believe, this is Tommy Champion on the X bike, as they go exit turn number 2 on to turn 3 now. As they head round now, penultimate lap. Yes, it is. It's Tommy Champion there who's just in front as they go into the tricky zone. Again, no blue flags out there, so I'm not sure if he knows that they're right behind. I'm sure he'll hear the bikes. And now Jameson's attacking McGibbon. Jameson goes to the inside of him now. Tommy Champion's out the way now. They've both got in front. But that gap's seriously open now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think Jameson gambled on McGibbon being pushed out wide. Didn't happen, and he scrubbed off too much speed getting up the inside. It's going to be the last lap now. He's got a few more opportunities to get past. I think it might have to be the last corner though, Anthony.
I think it's going to be the last corner, yes. So he's really close to up under braking there. He suffered slightly on the exit, so a bit too fast in, suffered on the exit. But it is last lap time, only a couple more corners to go. If it's going to be anywhere, it's either going to be here or the last corner. And he can't do it this time. He's not close enough. Now he needs a really good exit here. Again, don't run wide, don't go out there because you could really unsettle the bike. But McGibbon goes wide, and that's a big mistake from McGibbon. And he's looking down at the bike, and now that is Jameson down the inside. So Jameson's got it done. A mistake from McGibbon out of the final corner. He ran wide, and the checker flag goes out to Jameson, who also sets the fastest lap of the race with a 45.841 on the final lap. What a final lap from Jameson there.
Yeah, actually did everything he could, set the new fastest lap of the race, which he's done twice already so far. Takes it away from Scott McGibbon, who unfortunately made that little mistake to end up nearly half a second slower on the final lap. Third place goes to Matt Petland. Fourth will be Anthony Moore. Dean Rowland will take fifth. Tommy Champion has finished in sixth, and Jack Wolf retired. Seventh place, he will be classified. Next up, I believe we have Group A of the Pit Bike Stock 160s.
So here's your grid for the A race. Ryan Tyres starting on pole position with Luke Westerman in second place. Jim Lovell in third with Ty Kinton in fourth. Now these four have provided some excellent close racing for us today, and hopefully they give us the same for race 2. James Mosticker in fifth place with Julian Gromit in sixth. Andrew Thompson in seventh place with Ben Klukas in eighth. Ninth place is Jamie Callan. Richard Rice rounding out the top 10. Robert Cox in 11th with Kai Jones in 12th. Andrew Jones in 13th place with Phil Dickens in 14th. Chris Edwards in 15th and Dougie Craven in 16th place, 45.327. Sebastian Barron in 17th. Luke Small in 18th and Joseph O'Neill rounding out your grid in 19th place, 45.933.
Bikes will be out on track shortly. This is the second round of races and the second round of A's. Ryan Tyres and Luke Westerman were incredibly close in that first race. Jim Lovell unable to keep pace. He and Ty Kinton had to settle for third and fourth. James Mostiger and Julian Gromit battled away in the vets earlier on. They start fifth and sixth here with Andrew Thompson, another vet, in seventh place. Hopefully he's recovered from that off he had in the vets class.
Hopefully so. Yeah, let's see how they do in this race as they make their way round to the grid. Of course, really exciting race we had for race 1. And hopefully we do get the same for race 2 for, of course, all the spectators here at the circuit. They're going to be really wanting a good head turner for this one, as there are plenty of spectators here. One of the cameras out there really shows how many people are watching of the clubhouse. A lot of people on the balcony and on the side watching for this one. and we're going to get going very soon. So,
to the left-hand side, you have Ryan Tyers. To the right, you have Luke Westerman in the red. The square just popped up on our screen, but
yeah, there you go. There you go. That is that's Luke Westerman. There we go. Green flag is up. Revs rise. Holds them for a while, and it's a good start from Westerman. Westerman straight away is the noise in the background there as they go past our commentary box, and they all get through nicely. And there we go. It is Tyers in second position. Westerman managing to get that first place through turns 1 and 2.
Yep, great start from second place, and we've got someone going quite slowly through there, but they're all up and away. Westerman leads them into the third chicane for the first time.
Yeah, it's a good start from Westerman, but Tyers still providing close comfort there for him. But these guys are so quick through there, aren't they? You just see them dart through there. It's absolutely amazing from that camera position. I'm sure if you're actually standing there, they're going much faster as one of them pulls out of the slipstream there in the background. Again, couldn't quite see who that was, and that was Lovell, I think, running very wide there at the exit of the final corner. Fastest man is Westerman, 44.956, leading the way. But then there's this train of 5 bikes here. It's Westerman, Tyers, Lovell, Kinton and Mosdicker who are providing the top 5 with 11 laps to go. Mosdicker a little bit further off the group, but the top 4 there super close for comfort, aren't they?
Yeah, Westerman coming to the inside of the track there. We've seen a few people do that. I think it negates like that little hump, a little bit like the run down to Mirabeau in Monaco, where the cars go off the seemingly obvious racing line to avoid too much of a bump. No change in the top 5 on that lap.
No, all staying in the same line, as plenty of spectators there watching as they go through the flip-flop there of turn 1. Very fast chicane. Then we come into turn 2, the much tighter, slower chicane now. And this really has been catching a lot of people out as they go round now into turn 3. Now, gaps opening up slightly. So we've got first and second of Westerman and Tyers. They're pulling away slightly from Lovell and Kinton. This is a carbon copy of what we saw in race 1 earlier on today. It's race 2 time now, and this brings out everyone's inner racer, doesn't it? They know it's their last race of the day. Let's pile on the pressure. Of course, for some racing in other categories as well. But the last race of this category, here we go across the line. Still Westerman, Tyers, Lovell, Kinton and Mosdicker. Personal best coming in all left, right and centre. But Ryan Tyers is the fastest man on the circuit. That last lap he did a 43.271. So fastest man on track at the moment is Tyers in second place there. So 9 laps to go, and it's still all to play for with these guys all close up.
Yeah, 3 quarters of the race to go. I think Tyers is biding his time at the minute. He hasn't made too many moves. He hasn't looked to the inside of too many corners. So I think he's happy to learn as much as he can from Westerman. Now he has a little look. Maybe inside the last corner, but he's definitely not close enough.
No, definitely not close enough, and all flying around here now. And it's just so close between these guys. The lap times are borderline identical. Westerman responds to Tyers' fastest lap with a 43.031. It was 0.2 of a lap faster than Tyers on that last lap. But here we go across there, and we have seen these guys push it beyond the capable limits, haven't we, earlier on today? But these guys are absolutely neck and neck, and that looks like Tyers down the inside, and what a move from Tyers. Absolutely pin perfect as he slides down the inside of turns 4 and 5. I don't think Westerman was expecting that, and now Westerman's instantly fighting back into the final corner. He's got the inside line, can't quite do it now. Tyers holds on to it, so Tyers takes the lead with 8 and 7 now laps to go.
That was an absolute lunge, wasn't it, Anthony? We've talked about that place already. They're coming downhill into the braking zone, and he just threw it up the inside. Really, really good.
But yeah, these guys are absolutely flying. Here's a replay of what happened. So there we go. As he goes down, dives down. Perfect move from Tyers. Absolutely precision there from him.
Yeah, good stuff. Under braking, we cut back to them at the same place, actually. A lap later, Tyers still in front.
Yeah, so of course, Westerman, he is still the fastest rider out there. He's still got the fastest lap of the race. The last lap alone, though, it was a slight thing, and there's some oohs and ahs from the spectators above us, and that is, of course, Lovell and Kinton in the background there. They're jostling for position as well for third, and it looked like Kinton tried to go down the inside of Lovell, but Lovell closed the door on him through that final corner, and they're still jostling, and that gap's closed up now as well, and so we've got a battle for 4 now. It's a 4-way battle, and again, Kinton tries to go down the inside of Lovell into turn 3, but can't quite do it. And let's see what's going to happen into this tricky braking zone. Everyone stays into position.
I think we saw Westerman go down the inside of Tyres on the final corner, and Tyres just hung it around the outside and maintained the lead. It's going to happen again now, this time round. Into the inside goes Westerman. Tyres, though, holds on. There's lots of shouting and screaming above us.
There is, and that again is Kinton running wide there out of the final corner. These 4 providing excellent racing all the way through. 5 laps to go, and it's still all to play for. Westerman a bit squirrely as he was going through the last corner, and a bit squirrely now. But let's just see what can happen this time around. It's 5 laps to go. It's turn 3. It's Tyres, Westerman, Lovell, Kinton. Who's going to take it this time? As we go into the braking zone, and Westerman down the inside, he makes contact with Tyres, but takes the position. An absolute carbon copy of what Tyres did a couple of laps ago. Westerman responds and dives down the inside. Westerman now goes defensive into the final corner. Tyres is going to try and get the cut back now into the final corner. Who's going to come out on top as they cross the start-finish line? It's Westerman. He looks over his shoulder, and now he's got Lovell and Kinton. It's absolutely side by side as they go through, but stay in the same position. What racing from these guys.
Old Lovell goes very wide there into that first chicane. Here's a replay of the move for the lead.
There we go, and a little bit of contact now, but again, absolutely precision there from Westerman, just showing the class of the skill that these guys have got out there. 4 laps to go. It's Westerman, Tyres, Lovell and Kinton. Kinton and Lovell having a good scrap, but can't do anything to close up on Westerman and Tyres.
Look at Tyres through this chicane. He's very, very quick. I think he might go to the inside of the last corner. Does indeed covered off by Westerman. Tyres back to the outside now.
Again, yeah, good defensive driving or riding from Westerman. And again, as they go
Tyres
through,
is in front.
He is. Tyres has got back in front, hasn't he? So as they go through into turn 1 again, now here comes Lovell. Lovell down the inside of Westerman. Is he going to try and get him on the dive bomb into turn number 2? Yes, he does. Lovell down the inside of Westerman to take second place with 3 laps to go, and now he's eyeing up Tyres as well. Can't quite do it here. So that's Lovell with a fantastic move through turn 2.
Lovell's done what he failed to do earlier, kept with the lead battle and joined it. Great stuff from him. He's been biding his time there in 3rd place, holding off Ty Kinton, and now he's challenging for the lead.
He is indeed. Ty Kinton running slightly wide there. And here comes Lovell down the inside, but Westerman switches back. Westerman tries to go down the inside now, round the final corner, but he can't quite do it. Lovell holds on to it, and that was super close from them as they switch dart side to side through that section into the braking zone. Really, really committed stuff from all of them. And Westerman down the inside into turn 2. Can't quite do it. Lovell says no, closes that gap and says, and he really drops back now, doesn't he, Westerman?
Yeah. Tyres is getting away up front. They need to work together. There's only a lap and a half left of this one, and he's got a bit of a gap now. It looks about half a second as they go into the 3rd chicane for the penultimate time. Westerman's coming back at Lovell.
Yeah, Tyres has got a good gap now. It looks like he's got 3. The gap was 4/10 of a second, but Westerman super aggressive with Lovell as he dives him and pushes him to the side there round the final corner. He takes second position. The last lap board comes out. The red mist descends. Who's going to take it this time? They're jostling for that one, but Lovell runs wide. He loses traction and he goes over the curb and gets a little bit of air there. And now the gap's seriously opened up. So now it looks like Tyres has got a good gap. Westerman's got a good lap, and now Lovell is under pressure from Kinton for the last spot on the podium.
Westerman's not close enough into the chicane. It's going to have to be in the last corner if it happens anywhere, but he's very, very close to the back of Ryan Tyres. He's got to set him up for the last corner, Anthony.
He has indeed, and let's see what happens as they do it now. They exit the final chicane. Westerman looks to the inside. He's committed. He dives down the inside of Tyres. Tyres holds it round the outside. Tyres manages to keep it, though. Tyres takes first position from Westerman, Lovell and Kinton. What a race 2 from these guys for the Pit Bike Stock 160s. It was an absolutely fantastic race 1 of the day, but race 2 tops it for these guys. And there's still a battle going on in the background as the rest of the field
rider down. There's 2 riders down.
There is, and one flips over each other, and I'm not sure who that was. It could have potentially been Dougie Craven, I think. Yes, Dougie Craven, Kai Jones and Andrew Jones. It looks like there's a big crash there at the end of that. The 51 stops and tries to help, but a big crash there in the background.
you all listen up, please. You're aware we are dealing with an incident at the moment. I think the likelihood of us continuing this afternoon is extremely unlikely. So I think, in the fairness to everybody, we will call it a day. If you're leaving the paddock, please remember we need access to the end of the pit lane and the paddock for the ambulance services. So please don't loiter around at that sort of end. Thank you.
So if you are still joining us on the stream, as you can see from the pictures on the stream at the moment, we have had a fairly large incident at the circuit. A couple of the riders are being attended to at the moment. We have just had a message from the series director and Alan Lord. We are, I think, going to end the racing there today. There will be no more racing for today, so we are going to end the stream there. For anyone who has been watching throughout the day, thank you very much for staying tuned with us and being patient. And I'm sure if you do have any questions regarding anything, please feel free to email the official British Mini Bikes Facebook page, anything like that. If you do want to know any information or anything, you may get some on there. But other than that, we are going to sign off now. Thank you very much for joining us from myself, Anthony Jordan, and Jacob Harris.
Yes, thank you very much. We will be back in a fortnight's time with round 9 of BMB at Three Sisters in Wigan.
We shall see you then.